On this factory floor, a worker, distracted by a phone call, uses his foot to adjust a running slitting machine, and the rollers instantly pull him in. A running machine demands 100% of your attention. Distraction from a phone call can severely impair situational awareness and lead to reckless decisions. The in-running nip points on any roller machine are designed with one purpose: to pull material in with immense continuous force. That is why you should never use your hands or feet to guide, adjust, or clear a running machine. That is what proper tools and shutdown procedures are for. In the steel yard, a worker stands on a stack of beams to guide a heavy load being moved by a crane, but the rigging suddenly fails. Never, ever position yourself in the drop zone to guide a suspended load by hand. Rigging can fail without warning, and placing yourself directly in the path of a multi-ton load leaves zero room for error and zero chance of escape. Always use taglines to guide a load from a safe distance. Never use your body. In this workshop, two mechanics trust their safety to a makeshift metal bar propping up a skid steer's arms, but the improvised support suddenly shifts. Never ever use an improvised or homemade prop to support the raised arms of a skid steer. These makeshift supports are not engineered to handle the specific forces and angles of the machine and can slip, bend, or kick out without warning. Every piece of heavy equipment with raised components comes with a manufacturer-designed safety brace for a reason. It's the only tool certified to lock the arms in place safely. Always use the designated safety lock. In this plywood factory, a worker climbed onto a processing machine, putting himself right in the kickback zone. Seconds later, the machine launched a sheet of plywood with massive force. Never ever stand directly in a machine's line of fire or kickback zone. Saws, presses, and rollers can eject material with incredible force and speed, turning a workpiece into a high-velocity projectile. A machine's frame is not a work platform. The area where material exits is always a danger zone. If you need to adjust something, stop the machine first. A garbage truck unloads at this transfer station, but as the bed rises, the front wheels lift off the ground and the whole rig is pulled over the edge. Raising the bed of a dump truck creates a dangerously high center of gravity. If the load is sticky or uneven, or if the truck is on an unstable surface, this high center of gravity can easily shift past the rear axle, creating a tipping point that will flip the entire vehicle. Always dump on level, stable ground. If a load doesn't release smoothly, lower the bed and reposition the truck before attempting to release it again. Never attempt to force a stuck load by jerking the vehicle or overextending the lift. At this highway service area, workers are on top of a tanker truck when a high-pressure valve suddenly fails and the contents erupt in a sudden firestorm. Never, ever work on a tanker containing pyrophoric chemicals without absolute certainty of the equipment's integrity. A sudden valve or seal failure can release the material, which will ignite instantly on contact with air, leaving zero time to escape. Containing highly reactive chemicals depends on flawless equipment integrity. All valves, seals, and fittings must be subject to rigorous inspection and preventative maintenance. When working with pyrophorics, even a small mechanical failure can have devastating, immediate consequences. In this fast food kitchen, a worker with a long ponytail turns her head while standing next to a drink mixer. That simple motion resulted in chaos. Never, ever operate machinery with rotating parts if you have long hair that is not tied back and secured. A machine's rollers can grab a single loose strand and pull with enough force and speed to cause a devastating entanglement. All long hair must be tied back and fully secured under a net or hat with no loose strands. On a flatbed truck, a worker stands next to two tall, heavy slabs. Suddenly, the securing system fails, and the massive load tips over. Never, ever position yourself in the fall shadow of a heavy, upright, or top-heavy load. Always assume that a load can shift, tip, or fall at any moment, and treat the area within its potential fall radius as a high-risk no-go zone until stability is 100% verified. During the loading and securing phase, every strap, chain, and brace must be meticulously inspected for integrity and applied with correct tension. To keep learning from these critical lessons, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay aware, stay safe,